Okay, we just pulled out of the Cherokee Casino in Cherokee, North Carolina. We're driving through like the Maggie Valley area. Just drove by Santa's workshop or Santa's play park, whatever it is, and some of this touristy stuff. And today we're headed to Bristol, Virginia, to the Hard Rock in Bristol, which is where I'll be staying tonight. We've got 140 miles to go. You'll see since starting out, 2.8 miles, 383 watt-hours per mile. So we've been driving just like 4 minutes. The valet pulled the car around. I jumped in it. It was charged up to 77%. I had it set to charge to 80 last night. It finished. They pulled it off the charger, so I couldn't top it to 100. And it was sitting at 77. So yeah, we're just going to drive up through the mountain here. I am going to go ahead and reset the trip gauge down here so we can track that. I'm going to change it from Cherokee to Bristol. And I'll do that here in just a second. Let's go ahead and engage FSD. Turn the speed down a bit because FSD likes to be pretty aggressive. And let's click here. And we're going to do reset. So that's reset, and we're going to rename this to Bristol. Bristol. Safe. Okay. So we now have that trip all set, and I will update you here as we go. With all the shadows and stuff, FSD will speed up and slow down a good bit through these twisty windies. It does pretty good overall, but I actually enjoy driving this, so I'm going to take over and get on the road. I'll update you here in just a few minutes. This will be a short little road trip today, just a couple 2.5 hours, and I thought you might want to follow along. Short, fun, real world road trip, not a bunch of fancy overlays, music, etc., etc. This is just me, you, and the camera. If you enjoy kind of the real world EV content, charging, road tripping, multiple different EVs, I've got a Tesla Cybertruck, this 2026 Model Y Juniper, and yes, it's a 2026. Also, we've got a 2022 Rivian R1T that's my wife's daily driver. I'm thinking about picking up another EV because I travel all over the country and I have multiple places I leave vehicles. So I feel like I may need another one. And I drove a F-150 Lightning and really do like it. I may pick one of those up. I'm not sure. So we'll see. But either way, if you enjoy this type of content, do me a favor. Click like, click subscribe. Shoot me a comment, positive, negative, or otherwise. And follow along for this little quick road trip from Cherokee, North Carolina to Bristol, Virginia. By the way, from 80% to get there, I should arrive around 30% on the battery. And they do have chargers there. They have level 2 Tesla chargers. I think they have 8 of them. They're the newer ones that have both J1772 and the Tesla NACS adapter. So I should hopefully be able to get plugged in. So I'm going to head there, get checked in, and then try to plug in and see if we can get car juiced up for free. If not, there are Tesla chargers, 3 superchargers between Bristol, Virginia and Bristol, Tennessee, right in that area within a couple miles. Not a big deal. But obviously I prefer the free electrons if we can get them. This car is so much fun to drive through the twisties. Just the acceleration going up a hill is outrageously good. There was a vehicle right on my bumper, and as soon as I just hit it, they're gone. And I'm running in chill mode, by the way. This thing's just so good. See some of the touristy stuff up along here? It's like this for miles, by the way. Driving through these mountains. It's actually a lot of fun. And now we've caught up with a progression of cars, so won't be able to have as much fun, but we'll just ride along. Okay, I'll be back with you here in a bit. Thanks for following along. There's a look at the efficiency. I can't really look at it as I'm driving, but I imagine we're close. Let's see, yeah, 487 watt-hours per mile. That's to be expected, 467, whatever it is. I'm going uphill the whole way, on and off the accelerator. So anyway, be back with you shortly. So I'm back in chill mode now, but there are sections where it's two lanes on each side, so like a 4-lane divided highway, and you can pass slower traffic, because as you can imagine, coming up through these mountains, you get some slower traffic. And I held down the left scroll wheel, so if I hold that down, you'll see down at the bottom it pops up, and I can scroll it up and click, and now I'm in sport mode, and I have instant acceleration, because this car has acceleration boost. So when I had a passing opportunity in there, you'll see I just kicked it back in chill mode. When I had a passing opportunity earlier, there was a whole line of cars, and threw it in sport with acceleration boost and just zipped right around them. And of course, all at highway speeds. Anyway, this thing is just fun to drive. What a great vehicle. So I am still 2 hours and 7 minutes away, showing 1:04 p.m. I'm showing arriving now with 27%. I'm sure it's decreased based on my consumption being at 419 watt-hours per mile. That will improve. I'm not sure what my range will be when I get there, but I'm guessing between 25 and 30%. I am climbing some hills, mountains, whatever to get there, but soon I'll be out of this valley and out of these mountains and out onto a highway. I'll be driving through the Asheville, North Carolina area, up through Johnson City, Tennessee, Bristol, Tennessee, and then ultimately Bristol, Virginia, which is simply Bristol separated by the state line. So really interesting. Anyway, this is just a absolutely beautiful area. Check all this out. We will cross 7,000 miles on the Model Y today. Had it 3 months now. 3 months in the Model Y Juniper. And by far one of the best vehicles I've ever owned. Super smooth, super quiet. Very efficient, extremely efficient. 263 watt-hours per mile overall in the lifetime of the car. That's remarkably good when 85-90% of it's all at highway speeds. So I think that's impressive that the car can do that. Makes me pretty happy, because it then makes the charging stop shorter and the range longer, which is tremendous. So yeah, this was a good buy. And I drive 50 to 75,000 miles a year. I travel a ton for work, and this car helps me do it. This and Cybertruck, the Rivian, I use all of them. But when I'm by myself, this is my primary road tripper, because it's just so practical. When I have my family with me, normally I'll take the Cybertruck because of the room and the space and the convenience. So, pardon me. I wanted you to see some of the touristy stuff down through here. There's Joey's Pancake House since 1966. People standing outside waiting to get in. It's packed, of course. It's a Sunday morning at 11 a.m. There's a church off to the left. This is what they call Maggie Valley, by the way. Pretty neat, isn't it? Here's one of the gift shops. Almost feels like a beach town or something. It's a very touristy town here in the middle of the Smoky Mountains by Cherokee. So there's a little putt-putt golf thing. Pretty neat how all this stuff just pops up in the middle of the mountains, right? There's an old honky tonk. Stomping ground. Big old barn. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and continue to ride along. Thanks for following. Just getting to the end of kind of this area right now. Or maybe not. I'm going to check my map real quick. I think it's doing that stupid thing. I'll have to zoom in to look. I kick FSD on, adjust the speed to the proper setting. And just zoom right here with my hands. Yeah, see, there's construction right here, and it does this number. I'm just going to go straight, so I'm not going to turn left where it says to turn left on Teak Loop. Pretty strange, right? It did this to me yesterday. I had to run some errands, and did the same thing. So we're going to ignore that and stay straight. There's a Maggie Mountaineer, the Mountaineer craft store. Okay, I'll be back with you here shortly. Okay, so we've got FSD on. We're up here on US 19 in Clyde, North Carolina. We're going to jump off on 40 East, which is great. That's an interstate, heading towards Asheville. So, you will see my efficiency has improved, 267 watt-hours per mile. Been driving for 34 minutes, 24 miles. So, slow going, but we're making progress. Let's go ahead and jump over. So yeah, you'll see where I reset the trip gauge down there for Bristol. That's showing 248 watt-hours per mile, so that's pretty cool. There was some inefficiency with the valet pulling the car around and then having it sit there and idle and run climate while I was getting the car loaded up with all my supplies. Anyway, should be there around 103. 28% estimated state of charge upon arrival. It is 82 degrees out, 11:13 a.m. So this is a very, very short one today. I'll be there in a blink of an eye. And this is just a Sunday where I can actually just hopefully relax once I get there for the afternoon. We'll have a short trip tomorrow to Roanoke, Virginia, then from Roanoke, Virginia to Danville, Virginia, then from Danville, Virginia to Charlotte, from Charlotte back to Danville, Danville back to Roanoke. A lot of those legs I won't be able to do any filming. I'll have people I'm working with, coworkers will be with me, and I just I prefer not to do the videos when I have coworkers in my vehicle, so that won't happen, so you won't see all that. But you may be able to see the short trip from Bristol, Virginia to Roanoke, Virginia tomorrow morning. So watch for that video. And like I said, like and subscribe. You'll see a lot of these real world road tripping videos if you enjoy this type of stuff. Aren't these mountains amazing? And look at that view coming up through here. And thank you, FSD, for handling the drive. I've got my hand just kind of resting here. Really pretty nice. Okay, I'm going to get back to it, and I'll report back to you here in just a few minutes. Let's watch as it merges into traffic and gets up to highway speed. So what do you think? I thought that was pretty good. Did what I would have done. And we're right up to speed while going up the hill. Not a big deal. So, great job, Tesla. So now you'll see in 17 miles we're going to bear left to exit 46B for 26 west. And that is the plan. Okay, I'll be back with you momentarily. This car is just so smooth, so quiet, so efficient. I mean, look at this, 225 watt-hours per mile. I mean, that's, what, 4.5 miles a kilowatt hour? What in the world? Wow. And I mean, I'm going up and down highways and I'm riding at highway speed. It's not an efficient drive. 84 degrees out. This thing just gets more and more remarkable to me. 263 watt-hours overall on the life of the vehicle, and 6,970 total miles, which is really, really crazy when you think about it. I've done that in 3 months. So anyway, we've got about 4 miles. We'll be merging onto 26 west, and you'll see now it's estimating I'm going to arrive with around that 30%. 1:03 p.m. still my ETA. I've got an hour and 36 minutes left, 102 miles. Anytime I get under 100 miles, I know I'm basically there. When you road trip as much as I do, anything less than 100 miles is local. So this was a borderline local trip, but I thought you may enjoy riding along with me, watching how FSD does its job and how it'll handle these twisties and riding up through the mountains, merging into traffic, changing lanes, etc., etc. It's just awesome. It does a great job. So, and you'll see I've been driving for 50 minutes, 41 miles. We've burnt 9.3 kilowatt hours of energy and running at remarkable efficiency. So, great job, Tesla. Okay, I'll be back with you once again in just a few minutes. Okay, here we go. We are merging into traffic now, jumping on, I think this is 19 north, 23 and 19. I mean, look at this thing. It is just ripping through here and doing what it needs to do. Let me dial the speed back some. Wow. I don't know why the offset was set so high, but anyway, nonetheless, we are riding along. Incredibly good efficiency, almost 5 miles a kilowatt hour since I reset that Bristol trip. 214 watt hours per mile overall since charge. But I mean, look at that Bristol trip, 202 watt hours per mile. What in the world is going on here? That is just insane. 201 now. Wow. And we've been going highway speeds. I mean, you've seen it. I don't know. Blown away by the efficiency. Anyway, it's been a good driving day so far. It does look like we may encounter some rain, which won't be a terrible thing. The windshield definitely needs cleaning. And I had gotten asked in my previous video, why didn't I just go ahead and run the washer fluid? I did. It won't get these marks off. I ran it multiple times. So it needs a bunch of rain or, you know, really car wash and really cleaned off. So we'll get there. We'll get it cleaned. But today we are riding along. So let me bump the speed up just a little bit. $93 miles to go, showing now arrival with 32% on the battery. So that is good. I like to arrive to hotels around 30 to 40%. That way, if I can't get plugged into the charging right away, I know Sentry mode works down to 20% and then it shuts off. Same way with things like cabin overheat protection and all. So, you know, I don't want the battery pack sitting there super low. So what I would do, unload the car, attempt to plug in. If I can plug in, I'll let you know and I'll show you. And if I can't, then I'll unload the car, get my stuff put in my room, and then go and run to a supercharger nearby, which is less than ideal because I won't precondition to it, whatever, but not a big deal. I mean, I can go to a supercharger and sit for 5 to 10 minutes and get enough juice on to where this thing's up to 60, 70%, whatever. Easy. And then leave it sit overnight, not a big deal. So I don't like to leave the car sit overnight at really less than 40%. I like to get it plugged in and top it up to 80. That would be ideal, and we'll see what happens. But so far, this has been a good, uneventful trip, and FSD's done a wonderful job so far today as well. I'm loving that. Now, speed has just increased here. I love the convenience, safety, and adaptability of full self-driving. If you haven't experienced it, go test drive a Tesla today and experience it. It's remarkable. Looks like the rain's about to start, so we'll be dealing with that. That'll affect efficiency, but we'll get our windshield cleaned off and get the car cleaned off. The car's ceramic coated, so usually a good rainstorm pretty much cleans the car. Anyway, I'll be back with you here in just a bit. So I'm climbing up through the mountain here, running at highway speeds. Of course, efficiency is decreasing. And you'll see the car is just launching up through here. Let me dial the speed back some. Wow. Anyway, FSD's been still doing remarkable for me. This is beautiful through here with the mountains, the valleys. This is still part of the Smoky Mountains or the Smoky Mountain area. 80 degrees out. Of course, it's cooling down as I'm headed up elevation. Definitely looks like I'm headed into some weather. I had just some little sprinkling rain earlier, but the main thing I wanted to show you is we're still around 250 watt-hours per mile. This car is so good, y'all. If you haven't driven the new Model Y Juniper, go drive one. Go do a demo drive and let me know if you're as impressed as I am with this thing. I've driven a lot of Teslas. This is so I'll walk through quickly. I had a 2020 Long Range Plus Model X. I had a 2022 Model X Plaid. I had a 2022 Model Y Performance. I had a 2023 Model Y Long Range. Now I have this 2026 Model Y Long Range. I also have a Cybertruck, dual motor, all-wheel drive. And then I have a 2022 Rivian R1T. I didn't count, but I believe that's 8 total electric vehicles. This is by far one of the best. It's just so remarkably good, smooth, quiet, and comfortable. What a great all-around town ripper. And, you know, I'm debating buying another EV between now and the end of September. And I'm really, really contemplating just picking up another Model Y. I mean, after the federal credit, if you qualify, it's around a $40,000 vehicle. I wouldn't get another one in red. I would pick a different color. Probably just the dark gray color that comes with it by default. That space gray, or whatever they call it, is a very, very nice color. And hits different in the sun. It's got metallic in it. It's one of the new multi-coat paints. It's one of the new colors. I really like it. I also really like Quicksilver. So, and I may consider a Model Y Performance in Quicksilver color. That would be pretty cool. I don't know. I'm very torn. You know, the F-150 Lightnings, I'm seeing you can get 11,000 or so off sticker and then 7,500 off that. So essentially you can get about almost 20,000 off the price of one of those. So I really need to think it through and decide what I want. But this is a great vehicle for sure. Anyway, you'll see we're encountering some rain now. We are riding through what will probably be fall here. The car's doing a great job around the cones. It used to really prominently display traffic cones and stuff as orange cones on the screen. Now it just shows them as little dots. You can see them down there. But it's definitely different how it's doing it compared to how it used to do it. I'm going to dial my speed back a bit. See, my efficiency continues to decrease. I mean, we're just constant climbing elevation here for a while on 26 West. And we're going to climb pretty much all the way to Bristol. I am still showing a really good state of charge upon arrival. It was up to 33%. It's sitting at 32 now, showing a 1:01 p.m. arrival time. We'll kind of see what happens, but man, am I enjoying this drive. I always enjoy riding in this car. It's crazy. Okay, I'll be back with you. So now we're kind of going down the mountain and efficiency is improving. We're back down to 235 watt-hours per mile. Now I'm looking all the way in the left under current drive, but I do realize I reset the trip with you a little bit after that. But either way, really, really good efficiency. All, you know, essentially 4+ miles per kilowatt hour. Just remarkably good. You look at Well, the Chevy Equinox on a road trip like this would do 2.3 to 2.5 miles per kilowatt hour. This is almost twice as efficient. I mean, go Tesla. Wow. And I'm not a fan at all of any of the battery electric GMC, Chevrolet, Cadillac electric vehicles. They're absolutely terrible EVs in my opinion. The batteries overheat. They don't have great preconditioning. They want you to shut off the air conditioning in the summer while you're charging, which is unreasonable, especially if you're road tripping with your family. I had a Cadillac Lyriq. It was a wonderful driving vehicle, just a terrible EV. The software is terrible. The in-car software I actually liked. The Google Maps integration was great. The screens were great. The app, the mobile app, absolutely awful. No real time. Couldn't adjust my state of charge. It was terrible. And they're just so far behind. That's why I'm very conflicted about even considering a regular auto manufacturer, traditional manufacturer like Ford. That's why it's tough. I just don't have confidence that their keyless entry will work well. And it's like the Lightning, only the top spec has, phone as a key, which is ridiculous. Why wouldn't all of them have phone as a key? It doesn't even make sense to me. So I feel like I'd be disappointed in going backwards. I feel like it's a great vehicle, but I'm really conflicted on what to do if I do pick up an extra vehicle. So I'll continue to think about it. In the meantime, we're driving along, should arrive with 32%. We're less than an hour away, 52 minutes, 56 miles, and FSD's just doing its thing as we drive through the mountains here in Tennessee. Really, really cool. Isn't that amazing? When I was a little kid, my grandfather told me that his Lincoln had, now keep in mind, this would have been 40 years ago. So, in the 80s, early 80s, he had a Lincoln Town Car, and they always bought, every couple of years they get a Lincoln Town Car. My grandparents had some money. I grew up fairly poor, but they had some money. And it would take us occasionally, myself and a couple of my cousins, we would go in the summer to a amusement park with them locally. And it would be one of those ones that were set up for the summertime or whatever. And he would drive the car and tell me how the car had he said it drove itself. And I said, oh, does it have cameras? Can it see and know what to drive? Yeah, and it has a computer. And he had me convinced it was a self-driving car. He had his knee under the wheel, moving his knee back and forth. I had no idea. He fooled me as like an 8-year-old kid. But in my mind, as a kid, like, oh yeah, a car could easily drive itself with cameras. I didn't know. And now they do. He would be smiling as I was telling this story, looking down and smiling. But, he goes, no, car, after I figured it out and they kind of all let on what was going on. He goes, I said, oh, so your car doesn't have that? And he goes, no, they don't make cars that do that. That's not a thing. Cars won't be able to and cannot drive themselves. And I said, why not? I mean, they should be able to with computers and stuff. And he goes, nah, that'll never happen. Well, grandfather, here it is. The car's doing it. Really crazy. And just to think what we can do today on our mobile phones and on our devices compared to what we could do 40 years ago. You know what we could do? Nothing. We didn't even have a cell phone. So I think I got my first cell phone in the early to mid-90s. I had a bag phone in my pickup truck that I would use at job sites and construction sites. And it was like $1 a minute to talk on it. And you only used it for emergencies, and you talked super quick. And you would time your calls so you got off of it because those minutes were so expensive. But I loved it. It was fascinating. And when the first iPhone came out, I saved up the money and went and bought it. And I've had every version of the iPhone since. Absolutely crazy where we've come from and where we're at now. So I'm literally driving across the country and have driven from California all the way up into New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Virginia, etc., Florida, Texas, all over, New Mexico, Arizona, Nevada, all driverless. I mean, when I say driverless, it's self-driving car. And that's why I've embraced technology. I think it's fantastic. I think it's a great tool to help us. Here we are going through a construction zone. Let's see how it does. But see, now I have my hand on the wheel because I'm watching. I mean, we're going through cones. We're going through split lanes. It's doing all the right things. But, yeah, just wow. Anyway, thanks for letting me go on that little diatribe and sharing that information. Now it's time to continue to ride along as we head off to Bristol, Tennessee. And I'm almost there. Looking forward to it. It's driving up through here fine, too. It's scarily good. Okay, be back shortly. All right, so we are almost there. I've been on the phone, actually, for the last half hour, so sorry, it's been a little bit since I've given you an update, but we are now 125 miles into the total trip, 2 hours and 8 minutes, 220 watt-hours per mile, more than 4 miles per kilowatt hour, 4.5 plus miles per kilowatt hour. Remarkably good efficiency. Great job, Tesla. Looks like I'm going to arrive with around 33% on the battery. We're just following traffic up through as we're on 81 North now. You'll see that down here. We're around Kingsport, Tennessee. And yeah, it's been a great trip so far. Just continuing to enjoy the drive. 87 degrees outside, 12:44 p.m. I'm going to arrive at 1 p.m. And I'm looking forward to it. I'll show you what it looks like when I'm getting there. I'm at 39% on the battery currently. And again, we're just riding uphill as FSD is doing the driving for me. If you haven't driven long road trips with full self-driving, if you have a Tesla, subscribe for a month would be my advice. And take it on a road trip, or when you go on a road trip, subscribe and let it do its magic, especially if you have a hardware 4 Model Y, Model 3, X, or S. If they have hardware 4 equipment, they're really, really incredibly good. The Cybertruck is not perfect. It wanders too much in the left, and will actually cross that left yellow line right there. For whatever reason, it doesn't realize how wide the Cybertruck is. They need to do a little recoding and reprogramming on FSD, and I'm sure they'll get that fixed in a future iteration, but I don't run with FSD as much in the Cybertruck just because of that reason. Now, if I'm in the right lane, it's fine. But if I'm in this left lane, which I am often, passing cars, whatever, it just doesn't do a great job. So, anyway, you can see traffic's pretty heavy for a Sunday at 1 p.m. It's kind of crazy. Just very thick traffic coming up the highway, and in the mirror, as far as I can see, it's just a line of cars. So, we're just going to follow the line of cars, get here to Bristol, and get checked in, and hopefully get the car plugged in. Let's see what happens. You'll know here in a matter of minutes. So FSD has driven me almost the entire way here. There you go. Attention monitoring unavailable. Detective device in hand. I love FSD. I think it's absolutely game-changing technology, and one of the reasons that this Model Y Juniper is so good. I have driven so much with FSD. Honestly, when I'm driving, it's becoming harder to drive. Like, I just don't want to drive. I want the car to drive me. Which is another reason why I may just have to get another Tesla. We'll see. We'll see. I'll tell you one thing they could do. If they offered unlimited free supercharging on a Model X, I would scoop one of those up immediately. Heck, I might even buy another Cybertruck if they offered it. But I didn't want to pay for a Foundation Series when they offered free charging. They had previously a Drive Anywhere program that was $5,000, and you got FSD and supercharging for 3 years with a Model X. I don't really want another Model X, but if I could get free supercharging for life, I'd probably buy one. I drive so much and I travel so much, it has a tremendous amount of value for me. So I would have to consider that. Let me slow this down. It is coming in super hot, this exit ramp. So I just dialed the speed gauge back. I mean, it'll slow down as we come up here, but anyway, I'm dialing it back even more. We're headed right to a stop sign, it says. And we were coming in super fast. Okay, that's a little better. Oh, so it's a yield sign. Just adjusting the speed. And we are about to pull in here to the Hard Rock in Bristol. Let's take a look at the stats. 142 miles, 226 watt-hours per mile. Wow, wow, wow. 4.5 miles per kilowatt hour. Great job, Tesla. The Hard Rock Casino is right off the exit. It's right up here. Lifetime on the car, 7,071 miles, 262 watt-hours per mile. So, let's see which entrance we need to go in. Guest parking, VIP parking. Oh, Hotel Valet, straight ahead. Yeah, we went to Hotel Valet. Here we go. The chargers, I know, are over there on the left, all the way out at the edge of the parking lot. At least that's where I remember them being. Let me look. Yeah, I think I see the chargers right over there. Anyway, here's your final stat update as I pull into the Hard Rock. 142 miles, 225 watt-hours per mile. Great job, Tesla. Thank you, everyone, for following along. And watch for the next one. It'll be coming soon. I road trip pretty much every week, and you can ride along with me as we travel all over the country. Thanks again. Take care. And check out the valet area. Here we go. Okay, that's the end of this video. So I wanted to show you, they do have these chargers down here, but it's set on PlugShare. They have 8 of them. I don't know where the other ones are, but there are 2 of them right here. So we're gonna go ahead and get back in and plug into one of these 2. But I'm gonna ask the valet, he's picking me up in a golf cart now. I'm gonna ask him where the other chargers are. Maybe PlugShare is just flat out wrong. But either way, we're gonna plug in and get some free juice. So that is the end of the video. Over there's the hotel. Thanks for following along.